So he came to the light side. Because as we all know, that unless you're doing it, you really don't understand the granularity of the situation. UnionPay is obviously is a product that is operated by the China banks and is a fundamental component of the financial services sector of China. And we obviously respond to the laws and the rules that govern UnionPay, and we obviously respect those requirements. Now, as an organisation, we have very little involvement with UnionPay at all. Others have different approaches, and that's all part of the process of positioning each other in the marketplace. On the junket issue, if I can indulge for 1 minute, you had a really interesting slide, and I would really like to pull it back, if you could. It was the one that went back to 2003, because I think we need to put Macau in the context of some history.
This one?
No, the next one. It was the one, no, next one, was it?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, this one.
This is great.
This is fascinating, because I've now been in Macau for nearly 11 years. So I came when that thing said 2003. So we're now really entering what I think is the fourth phase of Macau. And I think it's really important to understand that we're a rapidly maturing industry. So when you look at the bottom there, that was the SJM era. Then you see the Sands, and then you see Wen, and then you see others come through the marketplace. And then there's this humongous blip. That drop was incredibly important to our success, because as organisations, and as many remember, we all had to consolidate. We were all been chasing revenue at that stage. But then what we needed to do was need to work on our business, and we needed to manage our costs better. And we then started focusing on performance. So then we saw the junket business explode again.
Cyclical recovery.
None of us expected the junket business to grow that fast. We really didn't. But of course, when it happens, you ride the wave. You'd be crazy not to ride the wave. But right from the very beginning, particularly for the foreign operators, we'd always committed ourselves to the mass market. We'd always committed ourselves. The Venetian in particular went out first, and frankly got so far out in front, they did actually, and have stated in their own profit announcements, that they had to retreat somewhat. They got too far ahead of the curve for a while. Now all of us are taking that pathway. So what's now happening is you saw the big blip in the junkets. For those operators though, we said, we'll pick those apples, but we're actually sowing the mass seed, because we never have changed that process. We're continuing to sow that seed going forward. And it's like two flywheels. The junket business is like a wholesale market for me. It moves very fast, you can activate it very fast, and it moves very fast. Whereas the mass market is this very large, it has a large amount of energy needs to be put into it, because there's an amount of inertia you've got to overcome. And now it's starting to move. And now you're starting to see it. One of the things I want to say though is, I don't ever think the junket market will ever leave Macau. It's an important component of the portfolio. It's really important. There's a lot of people in Macau actively involved in this business. What is happening is it's now going through its own transition, its own transformation.
We're going to come back to that one in a moment.
So in terms of all your points, I don't see any one of those isolated points as being really that significant. Yes, we have to address them internally. Yes, they have implicit compliance issues for many of us, but those are structures that we've put in place to accommodate. We are not fair weather sailors. We understand that we're in a reasonably exciting environment. You know, we travel backwards and forwards from Hong Kong on the ferry. We're just talking about that. You get used to the weather.